What is up, YouTube? Johnny B here again today, and we are going to be doing another mod to the FRS before the turbo kit comes in. This is the JDL bash bar, and one of the main reasons why you need it is because the intercooler that that kit comes with actually is really big, and it kind of comes in through the top, so you need the piping to go through. And with the factory crash bar, you can't do that because it literally gives you no space at all. So what you have to do is go ahead and upgrade to JDL's bash bar. That way you have enough room to fit everything. And I figured I'd do it anyways because it's gonna help a lot with cooling. One of the main issues that I have is that I have a little section of the grill that just basically covers this. When you remove the full grill, you can see a part of this, and to me it looks really ugly when people leave them just like that. So what I did is I painted it black, at least so it wouldn't stand out as much. But another issue with it is that it blocks some of the airflow. So with removing this one and installing this one, which is just like a pipe, I'm gonna have a lot more airflow. I'm gonna be able to mount stuff to it. As you can see on the bottom sides of the bash bar, there are some nuts. There's some areas where I can go ahead and bolt stuff to. So I can even bolt the oil cooler there, a transmission cooler, whatever I wanna do. I know I have somewhere to put it on. And then this is gonna also facilitate me to be able to create some ducting, because before this thing is pretty heavily in the way. Like, it blocks a lot of airflow. Obviously the radiator goes from like this section all the way to the bottom, and this is all getting covered, so there's no direct airflow going to it. So with having the grill completely removed and having a bash bar, it just gives you that little bit of extra airflow. And then another thing that I want to do is I want to create some ducting so that the air that does go through the grill just gets force fed straight through the intercooler, straight through the condenser, the radiator, you know? Because if it's not directly routed, and the air will take the path of least resistance, so if there's openings on the side, the air will try to go out that way and therefore not cooling down anything. So that's when you have some overheating issues or your intercooler is not being as efficient. So hopefully with this and then the routing setup that we're going to be doing to get all the ducting properly, it should make the cooling a lot more efficient, and therefore we can push it as much as we want. Even with the high horsepower, everything should still stay cool. So I'm excited. Let's go ahead and remove the factory one and go ahead and install this one. All right guys, so the bash bar is on and it's looking gorgeous. I love the way that the wrinkle black looks on this. And when you look at the difference between how it looked before and how it looks now, there's just so much more open space to be able to mount stuff, to be able to get more airflow, and just to fabricate stuff onto it. So one of the things that I did was I went ahead and put on my bumper, make sure everything was fitting properly, and it was. So this thing was made really well to be able to fit under there and not have any issues or have to modify my bumper or anything like that. But another thing that I knew I was gonna have to modify was my splitter mount. So my splitter rods used to be mounted to the factory crash bar, and now they're gonna be mounted to this bash bar. And as you see, I went ahead and made a little bracket because these weren't gonna be able to bolt directly to those. So with this little L bracket, I was able to mount it to the bottom of the bash bar, which awesome enough comes with like built-in nuts to where you can bolt stuff straight to it. So that's like an awesome addition. So that way I could just make these. And the way that I made these are with a piece of angle iron. So let me show you the process. So here is the made piece where I went ahead and cut it down, drilled it, I filed the edges, and then I painted it. This was the piece after I had cut it. So obviously the edges are a bit longer. I just had to mess with measurements to see where I needed to cut, where it would work. And this was the actual piece of angle iron that I used. So I just wanted something that was gonna be strong. Obviously I don't wanna bend something and then have it unbend later on. So this already comes bent like that with an extra little reinforcement. So this piece is gonna be really strong as an L bracket. And I have no doubt in my mind that that's gonna be able to hold, you know, enough downforce to even be able to hold me standing on the splitter once again. So now I just have to do the tedious bit where I need to just keep making these. I need 4 of them so I can mount the other splitter rods on each end. I already made 2, so I got to make another 2. It does take quite a bit for me to have to cut that metal, which is kind of thick, and have to drill through it. So I won't bore you through that, but this is going to be the final product. That's how it's going to be held on. And obviously if I decide I want to remove the bumper, and this is how it's going to look underneath, it's going to be pretty awesome. The intercooler is obviously going to go behind here, so that has more than enough space. And the oil cooler might get relocated to like an area like, for example, here, or even on the other side, depending on how long, you know, I can reach those lines. And just basically get the best track setup up here with shrouds and the whole deal, where it's just directing airflow straight to where I want it to go. And there's no wasted air that just is trying to go through areas where it's easiest to go out through. So I'm excited. It's looking good. It's looking more like a race car with this bash bar. It's obviously a really nice addition. They're only like $269 from JDL's website, so they're fairly cheap and they're really high quality. So that's something nice about this stuff. That's gonna be it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, seeing a little transformation here and being able to see with me how we were gonna mount this front splitter to that, and just overall seeing progress of the car, because I'm excited. I want to finish it already. I want to be able to get that power figure that I want and have all the cooling in check, so that with that power I'm not overheating or any issues on the track. So as always, you guys have a great day.